Happy Friday. What do we got? I won the bet. Go ahead. I bet Mark when I said it, when I let off like that, there would be a more than 2 second pause. It was like a 4. I had the over. Trying to steal $1 from me. What we got, Danny?
What do you want to see out of this last practice?
Compete. It's going to be fun today. A lot of energy in the building right now. Have a good Friday.
What have you seen out of Michael Carter in terms of how does a guy keep his head in the game when he knows that he might not be on the active roster on a week-to-week basis? Like, what do you see out of a guy to be able to know that?
Yeah, all our guys know. Whatever your role is, it can change fast, and you better be ready for your role to change, because this league's about maximizing opportunities.
With players like Carter or other players who are on the practice squad, what is the challenge of the evaluation process when those game reps are the most crucial and seeing the growth there, and especially as you head into the offseason when decisions are going to have to be made?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing in the evaluation process is what goes on the grass, game reps, and then in practice reps. I mean, we evaluate practice, everybody, every day. And you're either improving or you're not. So that's a big-time evaluation for us. And I feel like our guys have done a good job of it.
How valuable has Kelvin Beachum been to this offense?
Very valuable. I mean, he can play both sides. He knows what to do. He can block his guy. He's been very durable, available. He serves a huge role for us, and he's played a lot of ball. A lot of people don't have that.
How cool is it to see Buda Baker and Trey McBride recognized as well?
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's good to see some guys in your team recognized for outstanding play, and you're even more excited about a coach because you know the people that they are. So, big ups to those guys.
From your perspective, how has Trey handled this rise to that top tier 10?
He just goes about his business and works, day by day. Loves the prep, loves the meet and the weight room and practice, and loves to play, man. He loves football. So if you love football and you got a growth mindset and you're constantly trying to get better, he's typically hits your ceiling, and I think he can still go a little bit higher, but he's done a really good job. Premier player for us.
With a guy like Psycho, who I know is in the jersey this week, 4 years now, he's been in this role too with your staff. What have you seen from him in terms of certainly over the last 2 years, 2 seasons, how he's developed?
Yeah, learning how to play the position. You know what I mean? He gets better each and every year, each and every week, each and every practice. He's a guy that puts a lot of time into it too. Does a lot of extra. He's really developed his game. He just happens to be in a room with a bunch of good guys. But at the drop of a dime, his role could change, and we'd feel good about putting him in.
With Jalen Thompson, I know he had more splash plays last year and anything other ways, but how would you see how he's played this year, especially with the way you guys like to use the safeties and how you kind of deploy the defense?
Yeah, I was just talking about with Nick. That's a good question for Nick, but we were actually talking about him the other day, and I said, the splash plays you're talking about, he had a couple more takeaways, right? I feel like he's had less opportunities this year. You don't know when they're going to come, but I would like to see him take the ball away a little bit better. All our guys, not just JT. But with saying that, when we put a game plan together and you look at matchups, we never feel like Jalen, what we're asking him to do, we're like outmanned, and that's pretty comforting, as for our safety. He knows what to do. He plays multiple positions for us. He backs up different spots that we feel good about him going to the game. He has this year at nickel, So, reliability, smart, playmaking, whether it be tackling, blitzing, coverage, deep part of the field, he can do it all, man.
How have you relied on Kaiser the last couple of years off the field?
Off the field? I wouldn't say I've relied on him off the field. I would say I check in with him a lot, you know. The pulse, the temperature of the defense, of the team, how I can improve. He's very honest with me, you know. And he, you know, I relied on him to do his job and do a good job with what we asked him to do in his role, and he's done that.
Not even just this season, but last year we've seen a lot when younger players get the opportunity to play, a mistake or two doesn't necessarily get them taken off the field and gives them the opportunity to really learn. Where does that philosophy from you stem from, as opposed to just, okay, you made a mistake, we're going to pull you right away?
Yeah, I tell the team and our guys, like, I will tolerate performance, I won't tolerate behavior. And what that's meaning is everybody makes mistakes, you know, just like you're alluding to, right? And my thing is if you can learn from the mistake, correct it, and it doesn't show up again, I think that's a form of growth. But you know, there is a line that performance is real, and you got to perform and do the right things. And if we think that somebody else can do it a little bit better, though, that person's going to be out there, you know. So our guys have done a good job, especially our younger guys who you're talking about, Danny, have done a good job of elevating their games and correcting mistakes and improving and getting better. And we got a long way to go too. That'll be their plan, you know, moving into the following year. But I'm really pleased with the behavior part of it, you know, how we act on a day-to-day basis, what they're doing to maximize their 5 buckets, how they act as people, as teammates. And everybody makes a couple mistakes here and there, but they know, like, that's can't make a bunch of mistakes off the field with behavioral things, not off the field like out of the gates, like in meetings right now, or being, you know, late or not doing what they're supposed to do, or falling asleep in a meeting, or, you know, whatever. Their day-to-day process, they behave the right way.
So it looks like Garrett Williams, he's a second-year guy, but he conducts himself like a veteran out there. Just how much growth and leadership have you seen from him?
A lot. You know, I thought he's played extremely well for us. We use him in a role that is not just, you know, a nickel cover corner. You know, we do a lot with him because of his skill set, because of his brain. I think he's played better this year. I think he's healthier this year. Sky's the limit for the guy. And then when you look at the intangibles of what he brings to the team, he's a guy that does everything right all the time. He's a very serious person, and he leads by example, and then he leads with his voice too. You know, he definitely has that in him.
With one of those young quarterbacks, Elijah Jones, what happened for you guys to kind of shut him down again a few weeks ago?
Just wasn't healthy enough to play.
He ended up undergoing some surgery on that.
Yeah, he's just not healthy enough to play.
How close has Matt Prater been to returning?
Not close enough, I guess, because he's not going to go.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you, guys.